everybody. Welcome to our very first Zazzle chat of the new year. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to take a look back at the holiday season that just passed, what we're looking forward to in 2016. We're also going to share some information about feedback that we've gotten from customers. And today we're also talking with Kelly, who is our social media manager, and she's going to be telling us a little bit more about our brand new Zazzle Inspiration Gallery, which hopefully you've taken a look at. And of course, we're also here with Monica today, as usual. Great group. So first off, as we're taking a look back at the old year and forward to the new year, we do have some info to share with our designers to help you describe what Zazzle is, what you do here, and share your experience as a designer here on Zazzle. So what kind of information do we have to share with them?
Yeah, so first of all, when I tell people I work for Zazzle, they're like, Zazzle, that sounds fun. A lot of people have heard of it as the t-shirt company, or, oh, you guys do invitations, or they'll ask me, is that shoe dazzle? Like, do you do shoes? And while I do love shoes, we only sell the low tops, high tops, and slip-ons currently. But what is Zazzle? And I've kind of broken it down to 3 points so you guys can easily share it. Zazzle is a marketplace where you can make and buy anything customized from skateboards to stamps. Zazzle hit $250 million in revenue last year, and we're bigger than most people think. And lastly, Zazzle is a platform for both makers and designers, that's you, to create and sell unique products. And so I think like a quick soundbite is like, for us, when we tell people we're making stuff right in the heart of Silicon Valley. Obviously, our headquarters are in Redwood City, we started in Palo Alto, and we have factories down in San Jose with many other makers across the United States and even some in Australia. So we're Definitely a national, if not international, company. Right now we have more than 300 million products. So that's different unique designs. What I think most of you designers who've been with us a long time, you don't realize is we have over 1,000 product lines. Mm-hmm. So that's 1,000 products for you to design on.
And growing.
Yeah, and growing. Obviously I work on new product launches, so we're working on adding some very exciting things that you guys will be excited for this year. We have 600,000 designers, and I know a lot of you guys started from or grew with us, but we are constantly adding new designers every day as well. We have 550 brands and 300 plus unique makers, and then 16 unique international domains. So I think those are some good things to tell people when you're explaining what Zazzle is and why you design on Zazzle. Obviously, put your own personal spin. But I think Zazzle is growing, and this year we're really excited to be reaching certain points in the company and certain growth points that we've waited a long time for.
Yeah, and you're not just someone who is selling something online. You're part of this whole ecosystem that is Zazzle. So we hope that you enjoyed that information and it made you feel like you're part of something that's really special, because we really think so.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So along with information that we've given our designers, we're also asking our designers for information as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so right before the holidays, actually on December 23rd, it was the last thing I did before Christmas break, we sent out a survey to designers, and it was just 10 questions, and it was relatively short. I think it would have only taken 5 minutes to fill out, but it was the first of our steps to better communicate with our design community, especially as we've grown. It's hard. We have the forums, obviously, but sometimes the forums get overly cluttered, and we wanted to get an overall gauge. So actually, I personally read through every single survey response and worked on compiling them and putting all the feedback into categories. A lot of the feedback that was mentioned was stuff we already knew about and that we're currently working on. Mm-hmm. Not that it's not important, it's just we're already working on them. But a lot of the feedback was also things that we didn't realize were so important to you, and that we've since added on to our plan while we're doing strategic planning for this year. So thank you so much for your feedback. There's positive as well as need improvement areas. Mm-hmm. And the positive is great to hear, but the need improvements is stuff that we really want to hear, and we really appreciate your candid feedback. So thank you for those who took the time to fill that out. And hopefully we'll be coming out with a lot of improvements that kind of address a lot of your concerns throughout 2016. So again, thank you for that, and we'll be sending out more surveys, and we hope you fill them out honestly and candidly.
Yeah, as you heard, we definitely do read them. And speaking of feedback, looking back at the holiday season, we do get a lot of really good feedback directly from our customers about their experience shopping on Zazzle, their experience with the products themselves, and a lot of this feedback is actually information that's good for our designers to keep in mind as you're publishing and promoting your products. So what's one of those areas that designers can think of?
I think one of the things I saw in the survey is that you guys want feedback. You want ways to improve your stores, improve your designs, and we're starting with that. So a lot of the customer feedback are things that you can't change, like shipping or packaging, and those are things that we're working on internally. But we've boiled down a couple items that you as designers can work on to help increase the sale of your own designs. And from a customer standpoint. And I think the first and probably the most important is title accuracy. So keep it accurate regarding the terms, i.e. diamond phone case. If it's selling for $39.95 and it's diamond, obviously it's a great deal. If it was real diamonds, we suggest you say faux diamonds or diamond pattern, whatever, as long as you make sure. And diamond's probably not the best example. I would say wood. So now that we have actual wood cases, we'd like to make sure that there's differentiation. Obviously, when you see it in person, you can tell, but there's some certain limitations online. So the casemate cases are actually plastic, and if you read the description, you would know. And then our carved cases are wood. So making sure that you clearly denote the terms. Some other on invitations are gold foil. Even if it's a gold foil design, make sure it's clearly referenced, because some customers do not read the actual product description and they'll order it. And if we get that returned, you will get your design returned as well.
Yeah, so if you're using images of something that could be a real material like leather or ribbon, glitter, things like that, that we don't actually provide that physical aspect, please make sure that you're calling that out immediately in your title. Something like faux leather, leather image, leather design, things like that. And that will actually really help both the customer and you, because then the customer won't feel that there's a misleading aspect there that could cause returns.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Another thing to keep in mind as you're creating your actual designs, we do have a few instances on this site that will prompt our customers to take a look at their customization, make sure everything's correct. But that's something that you as a designer should do as well. So if you're providing template text, things like that, make sure you're reviewing it for accuracy, spelling, punctuation, things like that. Something that your customers might not immediately be looking at, you were invited, 'RE, making sure that's all correct, something that your customer isn't going to change themselves, really making sure that's all set up for your customers.
We've had returns. I think a lot of times when you're looking on the screen, it's easy to overlook, and then when you get the product in person, it's a lot easier. And we've all done that, where we see something on screen and then we have to print it out and then proofread it. So I would say use that same level, especially if it's template, then it's in your product and you can't change it. Those should be spelling error-free.
Yeah, and also
phone a friend.
Yes,
anybody.
Liz always checks my work.
Yes, and for the design itself, as you're a designer, you really understand our design tool. A lot of times, a first-time customer is not going to know that they have the ability to look at the art view, something like that. So make sure that you're reviewing your art view, ensure that you're extending past your bleed lines, there's nothing that's cut off, things like that, to make sure that whatever your customer gets is going to be printed beautifully.
Exactly.
Awesome. Any other tips?
So template etiquette. So obviously, and actually I read this in the surveys, designers want tips on how to design for templates, and we will be doing a segment on that in the next couple weeks.
Yep, and we'll be posting on the blog, so keep an eye on the tips and tricks on the blog. That'll be coming up soon.
But if you do already know how to use the templates and you have been using templates, again, you are creating stuff for you as a designer, but ultimately the customer is going to buy it and create it for their own use. And so allowing customers the flexibility to take out things or add things, making the template as easy for them to use, is ultimately going to help your business. We obviously have a whole team of customer service agents who sit here, and one of the largest complaints that they get is customers have been working on designs for 20, 30 minutes and they can't delete things. They get frustrated and they just move on to the next product that they like. And so if you had that design and they've been working on it for 20 minutes, we feel like you should get credit. But if they didn't ultimately purchase it, the sale ultimately will go to another designer. So to help yourself keep that sale, make sure your template is as easy to use as possible. And that includes, keeping your design simple, making sure that the templates are actually named like image 1 or image 2 or like image left, as opposed to template 0, because that's a default. Mm-hmm. And if it's all template 0, it's going to look
or like name, date. Yeah. So if you are using the setting where you can show that customization option right on the product page in the personalize it area, those will show the labels of your templates. So if you label them properly, your customer will immediately be able to see, oh, this is where I put the date and time. This is where I put my last name. That sort of information.
Yeah. And then lastly, I would say, we do have the feature now to ask a designer, and we've seen positive feedback. Obviously, if you are going on vacation, you're not going to be able to man your email line, turn it off. But for those designers who have turned it on, there's been some very positive reviews, because we've had customers reach out to those specific designers to ask them to design specific different colors, and it's usually a pretty quick change on your end, and those are like large bulk orders that you'll get 50 to 100 invitations. So it's a win-win situation. The designer gets exactly what they want, and you can get the sale.
I have actually done that on multiple occasions.
Yes, so if you're willing to directly speak with your customers, which we do hear a lot of designers want more interaction with their customers, enabling that Ask the Designer link is a great idea. I think, Kelly, you also had another idea for template flexibility.
I do. A lot of times I have taken beautiful wedding invitations or birthday invitations and customized them to make them into personal stationery. This is an example, I believe, was a wedding invitation. So I removed the text and used the graphic and added my own stationery kind of addition right there, and then left the back blank. So loved the design. It didn't work for me as a wedding invitation. I've been married 12 years, so it's not in the market for wedding invitations, but definitely needed to update my stationery, and this was perfect. So thank you.
Yeah, and that is a way that it's something versatile that you don't need to actually have two separate products. Right. So allowing your customers to create something new out of what you already have could actually save you extra publishing time and get you that sale.
Exactly.
Wonderful. All right.
So one more, the last one was, this is just from actually analytics that we've seen. Mm-hmm. Products that have an actual image in them actually do better. I can't share the exact results, but they do substantially better than products that just say your image here. I think the reason, and this is a hypothesis, is that when you are browsing, if you can easily see your image in the product as opposed to your image here, it's a lot visually more appealing to the customer. So if you have stock art or you have photos that you can use, we suggest using that instead of putting your image here everywhere.
Yeah, so being able to show a real photo in the context of your beautiful design really lets the customer imagine their own photo there. So yeah, we definitely recommend using those sort of photos if you can.
I think that's why when you buy frames, you buy all these happy couples. I'm like, I don't know these people.
Beautiful families at the beach.
Yeah. So think of it as you're selling the frame, and they just have to fill in their own family photos.
Wonderful. All right. So as we're talking about our customer feedback here, another thing that we love to see from our customers is photos of their Zazzle products in real life, which is something in our Zazzle Inspiration Gallery. So Kelly, do you want to tell us about the Inspiration Gallery?
I would love to. So the Inspiration Gallery is something that we launched about a month and a half ago. A lot of you have seen it on the bottom of the product page. So the product page, or the product lives here, and then in the bottom it says #Zazzle Inspiration. We've gotten great feedback from customers and from designers and from makers actually. Everyone kind of loves to see the full circle of where the products end up. How are people using them? Behind us actually are a few examples. There's a hat and another hat, some tea towels, mugs, invitations. Customers love to show off their designs as much as you love to design them. We've actually seen really neat interaction between our designers and our customers. A lot of our designers follow us on Zazzle. If you don't already, go ahead and follow us. They see the posts that we post, but they also see pictures that people who have purchased the products tag Zazzle. So the designer will hop in and say, "Thank you so much for buying my wedding invitation. Congratulations. I hope everything goes wonderfully." That interaction is fantastic. The customers love it. The designers love it. We love seeing it. We pass them around the office, and everyone loves kind of the full story. Full circle story. So share your photos, encourage your customers to share your photos, and interact with each other. We've had great success with designers really supporting each other and encouraging each other, saying that's such a great design, I love that, or that reminds me of the one that you did 6 months ago, and we love this collection that you're working on. So it's such a great way to kind of prop each other up.
So how does someone get featured in that Zazzle Inspiration Gallery?
That's an excellent question. I see all of the photos that we are tagged in. If you tag Zazzle or if you tag @Zazzle in Instagram, you can do it in the photo. If you'd like to keep your copy area clean, you can always tag in Instagram. You click on the tag people button and you can actually tag the image. So it leaves this area clean for your storytelling. And it doesn't feel like a giant ad. No one wants to see that, including your followers. And we're able to click through to see which of the products are ours. So tagging Zazzle using #Zazzle will alert me. If it's something that will work in the Inspiration Gallery or on a product page or in a marketing asset that we have upcoming, I will respond asking for permission to use it. That's actually the #MyZazzle. And we ask that you not use that for promotional purposes, but just as a response to us saying, yes, you have my permission to use the photo and to feature it. We can't use watermarked photos. A lot of people do that to protect their images, and we completely understand that. But we're unable to repost watermarked images. So if you have those, just email us at social@Zazzle. Let me know the PI or the image ID that's featured, and then send a high-res photo. And you'll have a chance of being featured.
Great. So what kind of criteria are you looking for when you're looking for an image to feature?
It's not always dogs, but dogs are a bonus. If you have a cute pet, primarily it's good composition. It doesn't need to be a professional photograph. You don't have to have professional lighting, but place it by the window. Take a couple of shots, kind of rearrange your setting to see what looks best. Oftentimes I get things in my head and then I shoot it and it doesn't actually look like it looked in my head. So maybe take a couple of shots. Simple backgrounds. We love to see them, we call them in situ, but in situation. Like, how should the customer use your product? Why did you design this? What were you thinking of? What was your inspiration? Kind of giving customers suggestions on how cute their towel will look on their cute ladder in their bathroom, or the cute phone case at the beach on the beach towel. So it doesn't need to be a professional shoot, but it does need to be composed nicely, simply, and have great lighting.
Awesome. And so of course we want to make sure we're giving our designers credit. How are we crediting them?
Absolutely. We credit every piece of user-generated content. Here you can see that we tagged both the original designer, Give a Fluff, as well as Mocha the Corgi, who is the customer who posted the image. And then we tagged our product in as well. That's how we tag actually on Instagram, but in the Inspiration Gallery and on the product page, you'll see an Liz or an @Monica to show that they're the ones that posted it. The Shop This Snap links straight to the product featured, and Create Your Own links straight to the blank product. There's been a little bit of confusion, but we didn't want to send people who were expecting to buy this specific tea towel and find out that it was actually just a blank product because it was a private product. So we tried to kind of distinguish between the two. And we've had great success. People love shopping the Instagram gallery. So
great. So is there another way that designers can show off these type of images to you?
You can always send it to me at social@Zazzle. Not everyone has Instagram. We're actually integrating from other social platforms as well, so it's not just Instagram. But the storytelling, the channel that has the biggest storytelling following is definitely Instagram. People love to take a single photo and support it with just a bit of copy, but it's a very image-heavy platform, so that's where we find the majority of the content. But tag us, #Zazzle or @Zazzle, either in the photo or in the copy. And again, if you don't have social, we encourage you to open social accounts, but you can always email me at social@zazzle.com.
Wonderful. All right. So already in the new year, we've launched a few new products. Would you like to show off what we have so far?
Yes. So last week we launched bathroom scales. So we launched shower curtains last year. We already have the bath sets. Bath mats we launched last year. But now we have these awesome bathroom scales, standard size. They're printed white on the back, it's glass. And then, so there's two. This is for getting ready for Valentine's Day or Single Awareness Day. Either one. So they're $39 base price. They're pretty solid. And they look great. They look very professional, and the printing's great. So I'm really excited about these to like really complete your bathroom set. Launched it just in time for the new year. Keeping yourself fit this year.
Yeah. So you might see in the imagery, this is glass, so it might look like it is completely see-through, but this does have that white printed on the back. So if you were intending to have anything transparent, it will show up as white.
Correct. Yes. And then huge, exciting thing. Our binders are very popular. Mm-hmm. And now we're launching the mini binders. So we're really excited about these. They took a long time to integrate, but they're made by Avery. They're very professional. You can't even tell that they're like, you could buy this in the store, and they're just really, really solid pieces. I think these are great for scrapbooks or cookbooks. Like, they're not as big as the other ones. So we're excited. A lot of the binder sales that we see currently are actually bulk orders from schools and universities, summer camps. And so we're excited by these. So if you think you have a good design that has been doing well on the binders, I hope you design on the mini ones as well.
Great. And what sort of add-ons do we have for these?
And there are accessories, obviously, on the far right. We have notebooks and
calendar pages, as well as clear sheet protectors to like fit in recipes or, family secrets. And are we looking to add these kind of accessories to our larger binders?
I think we already have them for some of them, but yes, definitely.
Great. All right. Speaking of products, we have seen a few different questions about various discontinued products over the past few months. Can you speak to any of that?
Yes. So I think when people ask us about discontinued products, there's not really a black and white answer. Yes, it's temporary. Certain products we've sent emails about and let you know. For example, Fuzzy Nation, that maker is no longer in business, and so their products have been taken down. But certain things like the water bottles or scarves, maybe the product wasn't. We took the product down. We didn't actually take your design down and delete your design. So, for example, when we relaunched our Sig water bottles and our Pexagon water bottles, all those designs were migrated to the new maker. So that's why we don't like to say it's discontinued. And scarves, again, was one of those products that were temporarily taken off the site just so that we don't disappoint customers. But when all those products were able to resurface, all the rankings were still there. So you can go in and see your product, I think, but it won't show up live. So don't go and take those products down just because they're not searchable on the site, because when scarves came back, sales came back again, and those rankings that were previously there are still existing. So there's certain products that we're looking to refulfill, but then there's certain products that we already have vendors and we're working on substitutes. So we will let you know if there's no chance that a product is coming back, but just trust us when we say we launched a product for a reason. We do believe that there's certain possibility, and so if one maker can't fulfill it, we're constantly looking for that second maker or third maker.
Yes, so if you see something that's been marked as out of stock for a long time, usually the case is that we're really staying eternal optimists and looking to find another partnership to create that product and still keep your designs and not create any more work for you in the future.
Yeah, and it's not as simple as just turning a button back on. A lot of times and this is where our engineers and our technology comes in, is because it takes all this time, but we want to create the best experience for you guys and for us, and ultimately the customer. So that's why just give us a little more patience, stick with us, and we'll get your products back.
Absolutely. All right. Just one other little note as we're talking about some questions that we've seen pop up on the forums. We've noticed some folks talking about seeing their designs on other sites that they did not put there. This is, one of the real sad parts of the internet these days, that there are some unscrupulous folks out there, and we are also not happy about it. So we do our own due diligence to try to send infringement notices when we see a huge amount of infringement. But most of all, when you're a designer on Zazzle, you still own your designs. You completely own all of the copyright to all of the images that you upload. You simply give us a license to host, produce, and sell those images on your behalf. So if you happen to see a design that is yours that is somewhere else that it really shouldn't be, you should be empowered to really say that that is your content. It is, and you are absolutely the person who gets to say, hey, this isn't okay, you need to take this down. So this is something that we're also going to be addressing upcoming in our tips and tricks series on the blog. So we're going to be giving you some tips on how to really take care of your intellectual property and your copyrights. But overall, you should be empowered to send a DMCA notice. And that is an official notice that if a company receives it, they are legally obligated to remove your content. So if you want to get started on anything like that now, feel free to do a quick search on a DMCA, and that should give you some ideas of where to start to protect your own intellectual property. Awesome. So let's see. Kelly, do you have any questions for me?
I do. The first one is, where can I find the Inspiration Gallery? I'll go ahead and field that one.
That is a great question for you.
The Inspiration Gallery is at zazzle.com/inspiration. You should also be able to search for it in the homepage. We're surfacing it on other kind of spots in the website as well, but zazzle.com/inspiration will take you right there. And we update it daily, so it's always just fun to kind of see what customers are buying, how they're using them.
Great. So if someone sees one of their products is featured in the Inspiration Gallery and it's so exciting, but it doesn't link to their product, what should they do?
That is a fantastic question. I do my best to match up the products that are featured to the actual designer, even going so far as saying it's a white pillow with gold dots, but which white pillow with gold dots? It's really important to us to drive the sales back to the designer who created the product. So if you see something that I did mistakenly, please email me at social@zazzle.com and just say, hey, I saw this, could you take a look at it? Here's the link to the product that actually I believe that it is. Sometimes it actually isn't. Sometimes it looks very similar, but was ordered from someone else or was a product that the customer created. But definitely shoot me an email and I'm happy to take a look.
Great. Okay. So we talked about making sure that your titles are accurate. If you have an image that could be construed as a different material or something like that. So Monica, do you happen to know the easiest way to make that change if I'm a designer who says, oh, I do have a leather product that I need to make sure is marked as faux leather or a leather image?
Yeah, if you go into the store and you click on my products, you can, there's below each product, there's a little button that says edit, and you can change the design, but you can actually change the copy. And then you update it, you can update the copy, update the title, and then make sure you check the box that says, I have the right to use this image, and then save it.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes, 24 hours, so don't be alarmed if it doesn't show up right away. But sometimes you just want to double check to make sure those changes took.
And simply updating your metadata like that, your titles, tags, and description, will not actually change your product or your design in any way. So it won't republish your design, it won't create a new product ID, it won't affect any existing outside links that you might have. So that's a change that you can make and be confident that you're not going to make any waves in your store. Awesome. So, do we have any examples of how a customer might use their product for a different purpose, like your stationery?
I have used wedding invitations as stationery. I have used birthday invitation designs as a different kind of birthday or as a school's out. One was a really cute camping invitation, but the designer had been really, really smart, and they made every single text field editable. So I changed birthday camp out to schools out camp out, and everyone loved them. So thank you to that designer. But things like that, those are great ways to think about. Like, maybe someone loves the design but wants to use it for a different purpose. Banners celebrating different occasions. I need balloons, but I don't need to celebrate Joe's 40th birthday. So things like that, really, really giving your customers the option of personalizing it. That's why they're on Zazzle to start with. So
great.
Yeah.
Okay, and we do have another question, and I'm going to find it right now.
Have you ever customized products in a way that they weren't intended? Not in a bad way.
Yeah, obviously not in a bad way. But yeah, I think the whole power of Zazzle is that you can go in and customize. Instead of things for one time it's like world's greatest father, I changed it to grandfather. Simple things like that. Obviously that was a quick fix, but you have to worry about the spacing and maybe putting the word on the next line. So anything that makes it easier for the customer is ultimately going to benefit you as the designer.
Yeah, you still get the sale, you still have a happy customer who will hopefully share on social media. And I think another part of the design element is a lot of times designers like to use fonts that we don't have in our font menu, which is totally fine. It adds to your design, but save that out as a separate layer. Even if it says bridal shower, save the bridal shower portion of your invitation and the font that you used when you were designing it in Illustrator as a separate layer.
And one of the feedbacks from the designer survey that I saw was that they wanted more fonts, and that was overwhelmingly something new. That is definitely something we are talking to our design team about and that we're looking into. So again, thanks for your feedback on that, and that's something we're actively looking into to add more updated fonts and more variety.
Great. And so the last question that we had that I do want to answer, I wanted to make sure I knew exactly where it was how to enable that Ask This Designer. So if you would like to enable that option to let customers send you an email via Zazzle, you can go to your profile, and once you're on your profile, go to your Settings tab. And it's a little tough to see, but if you are on that page and you scroll down underneath the section for your website URL, there's a little box that says enable users to contact you through Zazzle. messages will be sent to the email address below. So all you'll need to do is check that box and then enter the email address that you would like to use there. So this doesn't have to be the same email address that you have your Zazzle account. If you'd like to set up a separate email that's solely for Zazzle customer requests, you can do that there. And then when a customer clicks on Ask This Designer, it will send an email through Zazzle to that email address right to you.
And they won't be able to see your email.
Mm-hmm.
It's all private. Yeah.
Great. All right. So I think that's all we have today. Thank you so much to Monica. Thank you to Kelly. If you do have any more questions, as always, please feel free to chime in on the forums. And we'll also be sending out some more designer surveys in the future, and we really hope that you participate. Thanks so much.